The Polyend Synth 2.0 update is great, but it's still missing one key feature. I'm going to tell you what that is as soon as I shout out today's patron, and that shout out goes to Chris Piper. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The feature that I think is still missing that the Polyend Synth needs is the ability to switch scenes via MIDI. It just can't do it yet. We'll get into why I think that's important in just a minute. But let's actually take a look at what the brand new 2.0 firmware update adds to the synth. The big one is that we now finally have the Dirt synth engine in the Polyend synth. This came to the Polyend Play Plus a couple months ago, which I thought was weird that they introduced a new synth engine in their device that probably has the hardest time actually editing synth engines. But now it's finally here in the synth. I'd imagine we can probably expect it in the Tracker Plus and Tracker Mini, hopefully soonish. I'm not really a sound design guy, so I'm not going to get super into it, but it sounds nice. As you can see, we have this lovely waveform display here, and any adjustments that you make to it are reflected on the screen. Get some really cool sounds out of this thing, and there's some good presets too. One of my favorites is the robots. There it is. I don't know, I just think it sounds awesome. Like I said, I'm not much of a sound design guy, but I've been really enjoying the presets and playing with them. The Sunday sessions that's coming out on Sunday, imagine that, this coming Sunday, which is the 25th, I want to say, of January, is on the Polyend synth, and it's just me jamming, just exploring some of the Dirt presets. I think they sound awesome. However, it does seem like the synth is doing a lot of internal clipping with the Dirt engine. Yeah, you can definitely hear it there. It is certainly clipping, and if I look over to my OBS monitor, which I know none of you can see, I'm not anywhere near clipping on that, so it's definitely happening internally, which is something to note for sure, but it's also something that I believe Polyend can fix with a firmware update. If I remember correctly, when the synth launched, some people were having clipping issues with the launch firmware, and that pretty quickly got fixed in an update, so hopefully that happens again, because I think the sounds that you can get out of the Dirt engine by itself are pretty nice. Now let's look at the other new feature introduced here, which is Quick Scene Select. Scenes, if you don't know, are collections of 3 different synths, mapped to the 3 different slots and laid out in a variety of ways. So the old way of selecting scenes was to press the scene button and then scroll with the knob here, pick one, and there it is. Pretty cool. However, now with Quick Select, you'll notice that all of these pads are lit up, and all of these are now mapped to the first 60 scenes. So you can just quickly hit a pad, and there we go. Just like that. I don't know what the hell that was. That was a terrible performance, but you get the idea. You can just hit the button, select your scene. That's pretty groovy. None of these are the Dirt engine because they're all the old scenes. But yeah, you just hit the button, hit a pad, you get the scene. Let's try this with some latched notes and see how switching scenes in real time is. So I hit scene. Okay. Not amazing. But let's say you've got like one scene per song. You could very easily, in a live setting, you know, just have them dialed in, be playing. End of the song, yay! Switch to a new scene. There you go. That's a lot easier than having to scroll, for sure. So that's cool. However, the feature that the title alludes to and that I mentioned right out of the gate in this video isn't here. You know, we can't switch scenes via MIDI yet. I think that's the key missing piece to using this thing in a live setting. Outside of, you know, having multiple outputs for the 3 synth engines, I think that would really help, even if it was over USB. But that I don't think that's going to happen. So that's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, just being able to switch scenes via MIDI would be awesome. Being able to send either via program change, which I believe you can change presets within a scene via program change. Yeah, see right there, you can choose, I think you have 8 slots, yeah. And you can pick a preset to switch to via program change, but that's just within a scene. I want to change to one of these scenes via MIDI, whether that be, you know, running an external sequencer that sends the program change data, so it's, you know, like almost like a timeline for your show, so the scene just switches automatically, or throw it on a foot switch, like I use the Morningstar MC6 Pro in my live performances, be able to do it like that on a per song basis. I think that would really help get the Polyend synth to where it needs to be, you know, to be a serious performing device. Because as a performance device, especially in a compact setup, I mean, this is basically 3 synthesizers. So that's really powerful. But I don't think I can recommend it for live performance yet until we can switch scenes via MIDI. Like I said, the quick select is nice, and some people are going to be able to use that pretty easily in a live performance. And the Dirt engine does sound cool, so 2.0 is awesome. But please, Polyend, clean up the clipping and give us the ability to switch scenes via MIDI. And I think this might make it into a live rig of mine. So let me know what you think about this update in the comments section down below. Let me know what you think about switching scenes via MIDI or just using the quick select. And if you did like this video, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you know where that dislike button is. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. Check out my Patreon page if you want a behind the scenes vlog every week, as well as access to the patron exclusive Freebeat Discord server, where there are a lot of very cool and helpful folks in there. We have a pretty good time. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.